Welcome to the Moddcast. We're joined today by Los Pedestrians.
What matters is, making music and like doing that shit together.
Gabriel, Chicano Batman, OG drummer, he brought his drum set and we were playing like
A couple years ago, somebody posted on Boom that like, this track slaps harder than my grandma's chancla. And I was like, bro,
You need this prime right now, dude.
Welcome.
Welcome.
that's good.
thank you.
So where are you guys from?
Azusa.
We're all born and raised pretty much in Azusa. Yeah, we went to the same high school and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
What high school was that?
Azusa High. Yeah.
Azusa
so
High.
yeah, we all live like minutes away from each other, which is
that's
pretty
cool,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Like I always felt like lucky to like have found like people who have like really similar interests and just like we're down the street. I was able to just like walk to their houses,
Mhm.
and just like yeah, it was dope. But yeah, we all grew up in Azusa.
So you said you're living in the Bay right now. Do you just come over like for weekends and just to chill?
It's kind of weird, but basically, I went to school out there,
Hmm.
and then I came back, but then I went back to do my PhD, so I'm like doing that shit right now.
Oh shit, crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, like once a month I come down to jam and
Mm.
stuff. It's
How
kind of a bitch, but
Yeah, how long's that drive? Like 7 hours?
on a good day, it's 6 hours and 45 minutes.
What about on a bad day?
The lowest I've done is like 5 hours and 56
Yeah.
minutes, and the most I've done is 12 hours.
12 hours.
Yeah,
hours? What
that
the
shit was
fuck?
rough. But
Damn,
that was
that's a
like,
drive.
like you learn shit, Like
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
drive back like on holidays and shit, cause like there's this place called the Grapevine.
Oh,
Uh huh.
Like sometimes that shit gets like
It's packed.
frozen, like during the winter, like I nieve and shit, and you're just stuck there for like hours.
Oh, literally frozen.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought you meant like,
Like
traffic.
traffic
Like
frozen?
Like it fucking snows and then like everybody, it's like
Yeah,
fucking
oh.
SoCal, So like
yeah.
everybody just chills there for a couple hours.
Hey, that's commitment though. This dude's like driving up like pretty often, like
Yeah.
just like honestly just motivating to me too. As like
Yeah.
it's like to have people that are like equally as fucking driven, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Literally,
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Unintentional, but yeah.
For everyone watching, what are you guys' names?
I'm Luis Huizar.
Jose Rojas.
Efrain Gonzalez.
And you guys play what instruments?
I play the guitar and a little bass sometimes.
I play bass and sing and a little guitar, I guess, sometimes.
I play drums and I play Interpol riffs on guitar. Just Interpol riffs.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
This dude's actually gotten like pretty good at guitar. It's been weird because like usually like we're the only ones playing guitar. We'll walk in and he's laying down like obstacle one like pretty good.
Oh, shit. That's a
It's like,
banger.
all right, dude.
You feel threatened?
Yeah. I was like, he's gonna take my job, man. What the
Nah.
fuck?
Actually, it's kind of funny. Like the way we became a band, like we all like in high school, we all played guitar, but basically, Luis was like he was the best one. So we're like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, like you obviously fucking play
Arguably.
guitar, and then this fool sang. So we're like, all right, like he did mariachi and stuff like that. So like
Mhm.
he had
Oh,
the
okay.
pipes. So we're like, all right, you sing. And then my other homie's like, fuck it, I'll play bass. And like I didn't want to play bass, so I was like, I'll just buy a drum set.
Crazy how it all just falls into place sometimes. Like I wanted to play drums first before anything. But then Isaiah, he'd been playing our drummer since he was like fucking 8 or some shit. And I was like, well, I'm not playing drums then.
I kind of never really liked playing bass and shit. And over the years, like I
Mhm.
almost like playing bass more than I like playing guitar. It's like
It's fun. It's fun.
it's a different role, but
Mhm.
it's fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that shit a lot.
How did you guys come up with your band name?
Honestly, it was just like high school, silly nonsense. Like, to be honest, like now looking back on it, like I don't love our band name.
Same.
but like it's kind of like to the point where it's like I don't know. Does it really even matter? Like I don't know. I feel like what matters is, making music and like doing that shit together.
Right.
And it's like I don't know, like the fuck is that Arctic Monkey? And,
Yeah,
like, but that's
yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
sick ass band. It's
Yeah.
like what the fuck is like I don't know. You name it, like them Crooked Vultures. Like that's a
Right.
weird ass fucking band name. But then you listen to their music and you're just like, I go fuck what these dudes are called.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So I don't know. I got to the
Gizzard
point.
and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like there's some crazy ass banners. So it's like I don't know. I don't love it now, but like at the end of the day, it's like as long as we're here together making music.
You guys ever consider changing your name?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Especially because, like, I think we stopped playing music around, like, 2016. And then, like, we recently, like, during COVID, we actually, like, we're like, hey, we should fucking, like, we're sitting on these tracks, like we should start jamming again.
Yeah.
And like we're like, oh, we should like rename our band, but then
Yeah, we just had like like we don't have a huge following or anything, but like the small dedicated amount of people that we had, I
Right.
don't know, they followed us under that name, so we're just like,
Mm.
let's just keep it going with that,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So let the music hopefully speak for itself.
Yeah.
But to answer the question, it was his idea. The band name.
I guess it was. Yeah, high school me did throw out that name.
What are your musical influences? So, what kind of drives your sound?
Initially, it was like I would say the Doors and the Strokes were our two main influences that kind of brought us together as just liking the same kind of music. That brought my kind of vocal influence because I just basically that was like my issue as like a little 15-year-old. I was just trying to copy those dudes, and then just I guess over time we would be listening to more music, like Little Joy, which is the drummer from the Strokes, with Rodrigo Amarante, and then from there it was just almost like it was like the Strokes family tree, and then it was just like we would listen to all the music that they would people that they would work with, but those were the musical interests that we had, because I was more of like a hip hop head, I guess, growing up, and I know everyone was a little, he was like into some more heavy demonic stuff.
Yeah, bro.
And then Luis was more like purist rock guy.
yeah, like this fool would only listen to Zeppelin. Any other band was trash.
Fuck yeah, Led Zeppelin all day, baby.
I feel like that's definitely a pipeline. Like once you listen to Zeppelin as a child, it's like shit. Nothing else is really necessary.
Bro, you know how many times I listened to Achilles' Last Stand?
Oh
And
my
I'm
god,
just
that's
like,
top one for me. That's
bro,
top one.
That song's incredible. Like,
Amazing.
And obviously there's all the cheesy radio stuff, which is still great.
I
and
feel
all,
like
but
I feel like that's definitely like under the radar for
Yeah,
Led
dude.
Zeppelin.
once you get in there, it's like there's
Yeah.
some gold in there.
Yes,
I
yeah.
honestly don't listen to Zeppelin anymore like how I used to. I'll never reach for it nowadays, but like, dude, whenever you hear like one of those like old nostalgic songs, it does take you back to those days where you're just like, dude, that was fucking awesome, and like I was so deep into all this, but yeah, like I said earlier, like it was cool to like meet people that like were doing like the same stuff, and even though we did have like a lot of differences, like everyone listened to like screamo stuff all the time, and like
I still
But-
do.
yeah,
Nice.
like I never got into that, but like it's cool. Like he brings that
Yeah.
into
Right.
our
Different
music.
flavor.
And, yeah, so it's awesome.
Yeah, it's always cool having different like backgrounds like in a band. I feel like it almost makes it harder if everyone likes the same things, because then you
sure,
fall
yeah.
into like a pattern.
I think like the Strokes and like early like like Pink Floyd, Zeppelin, the Doors. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
like what we all like look like. We're like, oh fuck, like we would wear those band tees and stuff. So we were like the rocker fools in high school and shit.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I was really into like post-hardcore shit. Like I don't know if you guys ever went to Vans Warped Tour. You know what's up with that?
Heard of it, never went.
Yeah, all those screamo bands and stuff. But yeah, it's just like at the end of the day, like when we jam, like all our like musical influences just kind of become whatever the Peds is. Yeah, so
Right.
that's kind of cool.
Have you guys heard the new Voids project?
I listened to it a little bit.
What are your thoughts on that so far?
He
I
didn't
mean,
listen
I
to
like.
it.
I didn't listen to it. No, just kidding. I
Got
like
him.
it. I mean, it's like the Strokes if you're just tripping.
Mm.
Yeah. I put it on and I was like, this kind of sounds like Julian Casablancas. And then I was like, oh shit, it is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
trippy. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's basically like, well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Julian, but to me, it sounds like stuff that he makes, and then the Strokes were like, yeah, we're not really feeling this. It's a
Yeah.
little more
Yeah.
experimental.
Yeah,
and
he's
so he's like,
definitely-
well, I'm gonna just use the
Mm-hmm.
Strokes ones that aren't as mainstreamy,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
make these things, because they'll have songs that are just like wild, but like you
Yeah.
can hear like the Strokes riff, like the Strokes
Mhm.
formula in there, but with like just insane. I think they're like, and then I don't know. I think it's the other guitarist who's super like music theory and stuff. So sometimes in my headphones it sounds like insanity, but I know like mathematically it makes sense.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
I personally never got into it, to be honest. I never got like. I honestly dropped the Strokes like after like Angles was probably like the last thing I listened to, and I was like, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
But not to hate on them, we loved them. We were basically a Strokes cover band when we first started. Like,
Oh wow. Yeah.
we would just
Damn,
learn,
is
like,
that how everyone starts?
yeah,
For real,
it's like
yeah.
every band's origin, right? You just learn "Is This It?"
Yeah,
front
like-
to back, and then
Yeah.
I think like our first show, like 5 songs of our set was like Strokes.
Strokes. That's
Damn.
funny.
And people like that shit, man.
Yeah.
real.
man.
but,
When
yeah.
I joined your guys' band before Modded Out, the Detour, the first song I learned for you guys was Reptilia.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
We
There
did
you
cover
go,
up to
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
We
when I
did.
was first learning how to play bass, I was like, man, this song's kind of fast.
Yeah, no, we started with like the slowest, like "Is This It?" I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
First
banger
song I
though.
learned on drums.
Then you play like Whatever Happened first, right?
New York City Cops. That shit was a banger.
Oh yeah,
shit
that was
fun as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This fool, like in his prime, like he would chug like whiskey and shit.
Oh, shit.
And then it was crazy. He would just be like, it's like Jim Morrison possessed him or some shit.
Oh,
And then he would just,
What do you mean in his prime? He's in his prime right now, dude. Talk about my boy like that.
Basically saying I'm washed.
What got you guys into like playing music, like actually playing an instrument?
I personally started in band, like just like school band. I played trumpet first, so that was my very first instrument, and then I went on to like learn baritone. So I played baritone in like marching band. I did all that for a long time, just like high school pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I quit senior year, and that's when I quit mostly because that's when we started like really like getting into writing music, and then like, but yeah, personally it was like that was kind of my like I went trumpet, elementary, and then high school I was playing baritone, and then there was like a little room like in the band room that had like a guitar and a bass in there in high school, so I would just like go in there and fuck around, you know.
Yeah.
And eventually I got to the point where I was like, I kind of like knew a little bit. And then I was like, yo, mom, what's up with the guitar though? And then,
Yeah.
you know, fucking shout out to mom. Thank you. Fucking mom bought me a little, that little like shitty Squire pack. You know what I mean? With like, comes with like the
starter
amp
pack,
and like
dude.
the, you know, like, and dude, like I was so
Squire
fucking stoked.
Stratcast.
Yeah. I was so stoked. Like it was the shittiest guitar, but yeah, pretty much learned on there. And then ever since then.
For me, I was super into soccer. Me and my dad were just like every single day just playing soccer, and it was definitely awesome. But I feel like at a certain point, I was just, I was super into music. It was like 2005. Listened to some Gorillaz. That was crazy.
Hell yeah.
And then that just like started to put me on the path of like I kind of want to do something with music. And then finally I was like, oh, can I have a guitar? It was like my 13th or 14th birthday, and so then I got that. And then when I started playing, then I started doing like the mariachi thing, and then I started to kind of not play soccer as much. And then around that time, that's like when I met them. So that's when we started doing it. Yeah.
In middle school, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. I kind of just like had a lot of like influences from like my family members mostly. Like I had a cousin who was like putting in work in the streets and shit like that. So like I was really into like rap and stuff. But then yeah, it was kind of like, I think it was like summer going into sophomore year, I met this fool. And then like honestly, like the most rock I knew at that time was like Linkin Park. Honestly, I don't shit on Linkin Park, bro, because that first album is still fire, bro. I still
Fire,
love that
yeah.
shit. But like, yeah,
R.I.P.
after meeting this fool, like, we started like outside of music, like we just vibed, and like so we started chatting and stuff. We used to kick it more, and then like he listened to a lot of rocks, and I started listening to like music and shit, and then yeah, like it's kind of like funny how things work out. Like around the same time I met Porps, like we were like fucking around with the idea of starting a band, and then like yeah, that's when we like picked our instruments, and then yeah, we just like started going from there.
This is Porps, by the way. His real name's Jose, but we never call him that.
Porps?
Porps? How do you spell that?
Porps.
P-O-
No, I'm just kidding.
Porps.
Okay.
So, because Jose is Pepe,
Mm-hmm.
and then but my dad's Pepe, so I'm Pepito. And then I had this neighbor who would say Perpito. I don't know, like it was like he'd be like, "Oh, where's Perpito at?" And then one of our friends, I don't know if he was like drunk or something, but he's like, "Hey, where's poor Pato?" And everyone was just like, "What? Like, how has my name transformed this much?" And then so now it was like, "Oh, haha, poor Pato," and then everyone just shortened it to Porps.
Porps.
So that's
Hell yeah.
that's where that came from.
That's cool. I like when names have like long histories like that, like random ass
Yeah.
nicknames.
I just thought I'd explain it because he just dropped a Porps, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
I'm just gonna gloss over it. Like,
Yeah.
What are your favorite like venues that you guys have played at, like, or shows? What kind of shows do you guys prefer to play? Like house shows, like venues, and then what's your favorite?
I think my favorite one was when we played with the Red Pears at the Smell. That was like
oh shit.
our what's that phrase called? Magnum opus or whatever. That was like our just
Magnum opus.
the
I think
best
so.
Yeah, like the
time. Yeah, it was crazy. But I mean, I love me some house shows. I love those like Fontana ones where I couldn't really see anything because it was dark, and then I couldn't really even hear myself singing, and then but I could tell people were moshing because there was dirt and I was getting allergies, getting kicked up, and but I mean I feel like those are just cool because we sounded really good, in my mind, and I'm like, man, if this was like on a cool live set in like somewhere nice like a FYF or something, we would have sounded dope. But we're in
Would've
Fontana,
made
and it was
millions.
still cool. But yeah, the Smell, I think that was the best one.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
we
fire.
also used to throw our own shows at Efren's house actually for a long time. Like we would just have like
Does parents know that? Can we just
I don't
shout
know,
that out right
actually.
now?
I don't know.
Now they know.
I mean,
Maybe
yeah.
off the record.
Now they know.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, yeah, those are fun as hell. Like we would just, it would mostly be just like our friends' bands and shit like that, But those are awesome, and like we were, being in like complete control of a show is always fun, and then like you kind of do whatever you want and stuff. But those are super awesome memories for me, definitely. But yeah, definitely that Smell show was awesome. There's this like super cool picture. It's probably like my favorite picture we've ever taken. Like it's like on our Spotify if you go to the bottom or whatever. But just everyone's just fucking raging and shit.
Yeah.
Looks like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love that shit.
I think like actual legit show, probably the Smell. Cause yeah, it was also like we were coming back from like a little hiatus, and so like, and like the Red Pears, they're like really good friends, and like it was just really cool to play with them, and like, yeah. But then yeah, I think, yeah, we used to do the house show shit like pretty regularly. Like
Yeah.
like a couple years, like every weekend we would just like be in somebody's backyard playing, and like yeah, I think the ones at my house were probably like the funnest. Like yeah, just like being able to throw your own show and being like, oh yeah, you could play for like whatever amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are-
Max
yeah.
comfort.
Except dealing with the cops is kind of like annoying.
yeah.
Well, that's why when we threw them at your show, I mean, I've had the Azusa police department on my payroll since I was a young man, so they weren't bothering us there. I was kidding.
Which we're like interested enough trying to like avoid now, because like I mean we're in a different place now,
Right.
and like we're kind of not trying to hit like house shows all the time, and like
Yeah,
nothing
right.
against them or anything, but like I definitely still love it, and like it's a different vibe definitely, but I feel like we're just in a different place now, so we're kind of just trying to step it up a little bit and
Right.
be more selective, I guess.
I think it's also like we're a little older now, and so like
Estamos viejitos, yeah.
we all got like, I don't know, like the older you get, the more shit you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
for
like we have limited time and stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
Got bills to pay and shit.
Yeah.
Whack as hell.
that's the dream, man. Like just being able to play music. Like I'm not even trying to be like Strokes big, just like big enough to like pay bills. Like even just like
That'd be
some
awesome.
bills, and not all the bills.
Yeah.
Just like all right, I don't have to worry about my like fucking.
My phone bill.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, yeah, like
The
anything.
smallest one.
Yeah.
Like the
For real, bro,
cheapest
free
bill.
phone, like fucking to play
Netflix,
shows.
you
Like,
Yeah,
I can pay for my
yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, oh my bad. This single didn't hit. I don't got no more minutes on my phone.
what are the crazier things you've seen at a show? Like, you've been to shows and you see like fucking crazy, but if you guys are performing or you've been to a show
Yeah.
and something crazy happens.
I got one. My fucking favorite is we played. Shout out to Jose Gomez. He like threw a house show in Pomona.
DJ Jose Gomez?
I don't know if he DJs, but
No,
I don't think so.
no.
Yeah, that's crazy. We
But-
have that friend that lives in the Bay. Sorry to interrupt, but his name's also Jose Gomez.
What a Jose
Because our friend
Gomez.
Jose Gomez moved to the Bay. I doubt it's the same homie.
yeah.
but-
I don't know.
DJ, does your Jose Gomez ride a bike a lot?
Now,
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, we might have to fact check that
Small
later.
world.
But anywho, we were playing a show in Pomona, and like it was like one of our early shows. Like, but like I'll never fucking forget this, bro. This fucking it was like the pit, and then this other homie just comes and smacks a Jack Daniels bottle on this other homie's dome, bro. And then like he just starts gushing out blood, bro. But he was on one because like he was unfazed. And then he gets on my drum set and he does a backflip. And then he goes back in the pit and like he's just gushing out blood the whole time.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that I think that's that or the time some homie got fucking stabbed in the neck.
Yo.
Since you got stabbed at a show, yeah.
maybe I don't want to go to your guys' show on there.
Yeah, we didn't play the house after that though, but
Bro, it was actually the one that I always remember is like it was at the same place. I think it was a different show, but those shows always got super rowdy, and like, dude, it was insane. So like, the people that lived in the house, they were about to move out. So like, this was the last show. It's pretty much like a farewell
shit,
show,
yeah.
and it was a bunch of college kids that lived in that one house, and then basically like, I don't know. I guess it got around that they were like leaving, and we were playing in the attic, bro. So it was like 2 stories, and like there was like an attic. And then we were like in the corner of the attic, and like it got fucking rowdy, cool, whatever. Like it was sick, but dude, like once the music stopped, everybody like it was just like some hive mind shit, bro. Like everybody just like started going insane and started fucking up the house, bro. Like like
Yeah, I don't know if like
It was
the
crazy.
landlord was.
they
Like,
didn't get their
or, like,
security
if it
deposit
was-
back.
No.
For sure.
No,
That's
if it was
crazy.
like on a bad terms or something, but yeah, like everyone was going crazy, and then that because I was gonna say the same one, the goodbye one,
Yeah.
at the house in Pomona, and then I remember playing, and then like it's like everyone just started grabbing stuff. Like I remember I was playing, and then some dude was just like with a broom making a hole in the ceiling.
yeah,
It
dude,
was
just
just
making
like-
holes in the ceiling,
That's
bro. It's
fucking
just like,
crazy.
bro, they ripped off a door. And there was like I said, it was 2 stories, and they were sliding down the stairs with a door, bro.
What?
Bro, like it was
That's
fucking
crazy.
madness.
But we were playing our like most cutesy song, so I was like, "This isn't our music that's doing this right now. This is something else."
And this was all happening while you guys were playing?
Well, like it was during, and then like the music stopped, and
Oh,
then like there
after
was no
that.
more bands anymore.
Yeah.
But people were just fucking going insane, bro. Like throwing chairs against the wall. Like it was just madness, and it got to the point where like our friend, he just it was
Left.
his house, and he just left.
Yeah.
He was just like, I can't.
Dipped.
He's like, I can't control this, bro. Like
That's
I'm
crazy.
out.
But I'm telling you, like it looked like the juxtaposition between like people sliding down the stairs on the door, making holes in the thing, pushing each other, and I'm like, "You could be the one tonight," just like our most adorable song.
The
That was-
vibes were immaculate.
Yeah. That was by far like the wildest
Yeah.
show experience I've ever like. And then we ended up just leaving, and I have no idea what happened to that house. Like, I mean, you know, hope everything worked out, but no idea.
That's kind of the beauty of house shows compared to like venues.
Yeah.
It's like, with house shows, you just get some random ass
Different
shit
energy,
sometimes,
yeah.
but,
Do you guys write things like actually with like a pen and paper, or just like off dome, or like how does that work? How do you guys make songs?
I've never seen a pen and paper in my life.
No, we
so-
we don't write anything down.
Yeah.
I think it's I mean, personally, just from my perspective, I'm sure we all see it differently, but like, usually Jose would come in with like some sort of like chord progression, and like he's the singer, so he would always obviously he would have like a vocal melody and stuff like that, and for the most part, like he would like his shit was always very like I said, chords and stuff like that. And I guess like I kind of came from like I don't know, like I would listen to like a lot of like Zeppelin, like these fools mentioned, so I like riffs a lot. So like I would always throw in just like these like riffs into like our songs and stuff like that. So like, and I think that's kind of like what came to like be like our sound. Like a lot of it's like very like chord stuff, and then like halfway in between we'll have like kind of like a little heavy riff come in and stuff like that. So then like just like I don't know, someday I was always very grateful because like anytime I had just like an idea, like he would always like finish my idea, or like I had a riff in my head already, and then like he would bring something to the table, and then like it would I don't know, just change the key of it or something, and it would kind of just like complete his thought or something like that. So like that was always great. And then I mean everyone just his drums, and he wrote his own parts to everything that we did. So
Yeah.
it was always very natural to me. Like I don't know, nothing ever seemed like super forced, which was super cool. Like I don't know, but yeah, Jose usually would be like the one to like come in with like his chords, his vocal melodies and stuff like that, which is the most of the song at that point. And then we just kind of just tie it up all together in practice and stuff like that. And it was a lot of just like time in like our little practice room. We used to practice it at his house, in the back of his parents' house. He used to have like a little like back house, and we would just be in there just for hours, after school, and just fucking around, and like we just kind of hammer out songs. We had this one song that we were just playing one note. Remember the one note song? And then like we were just like we built on the one note song, and it just became this whole thing. So it was everything was very like natural. Like
I remember that we literally played that one note for like an hour, and we were just like,
I feel like that's how it happens. Like you
Yeah.
jam on something for way too long, then you look at the like recording, and you're like, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah,
Like,
it became something. So
yeah. I think I'll add to that. We're pretty fortunate that like Jose has never brought something that we're like, oh man, that fucking sucks. Like, get that out of here. So like, usually like we all kind of like what everybody does. I think the only time I've had some backlash is when I'm trying to throw like some breakdowns in there, like some hardcore breakdowns. And they'll be like, nah, bro, like we're not that kind of band. But other than that, like, yeah, it's pretty fluid.
they don't let you play sick trap beats.
Yeah, and then for me, I just, I guess I just drew inspiration from like, sometimes it would be like, I used to go to Mexico a lot with the fam. We'd go like almost every single break, winter break and all that. And then we'd be at a party, and I'd be watching these dudes jam. And then I'd just be paying attention like, oh, dang, that's a weird chord. And then I'd just like take that chord and add something else. And then
Sick. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I was listening to this weird banda song, and then this,
It
you know,
came
this
out of
weird
there,
like
yeah.
the tuba's playing this bass note, and then they're
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
this chord, and it sounded cool, and then I would just make that into a guitar chord, and then yeah.
Do you guys know like music theory? Because our
Mm,
understanding's pretty limited.
not like super yeah, not crazy. Like I don't know any scales or anything like that. I mean, I know like the chord names. So if like I don't know, if someone's like, "Oh, I'll play along with you," I'll be like, "Oh, this is a C sharp
Right,
major
right.
7 or something."
Yeah,
but I don't
yeah.
know like
Mm-hmm.
what goes with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to fuck around with theory a lot more because of school. So like when I was in band, like you had to read
Right.
music. So like that was one thing I liked about just like jamming with the dudes. Like there was a lot less rules, So like I mean in band like you had to like sight read stuff, and like everything was like written down for you. So there was kind of like there was a lot of boundaries. You had to like stick within those lines. You couldn't really step out and be crazy like. And then like I don't know, when jamming with these guys, like you didn't really need theory, So it was like and then you got into like pedals and gear and all this shit, and I was like, this is way sicker.
How long did it take to make Gloom? Because that song's fire.
It's our best song for sure.
That's my favorite
So
song.
That's
Gloom,
what-
that one's
can I
fire.
reveal like secret formulas or no?
What's the secret?
Gloom is
Let me get my
it's this
notes up.
Eric Satie song called like Gymnopedy number 1 or something. So it's like
Oh,
boom bum
Uh-huh.
boom bum. So then I took that progression and then made it more pedsy, I guess is our
Better?
and then the piano notes that he plays in that song is kind of the vocal melody I use. And then like I said, then from that formula that we do, so then I presented that, and I'm like, I just Jack, this ancient song, and then
Yeah.
and then he would add like a heavier riff because I'm not inclined to be super like heavy so I think like he was saying, it just kind of gave the song all our songs more like dynamics and stuff like that, because if it was just
Texture.
all up to me, texture, if it was just up to me, the song would have like it would just be like, I guess,
Too happy.
I would be too happy every time.
What is your favorite song to play live?
Gloom.
Efren loves Gloom. Like we've been like building a set and stuff, and then every time we're like, what do we play first? He's like, Gloom. We're gonna open the set with Gloom. You know, it's always Gloom. But I mean, me personally, I would say it's in between like Miracle or like I really like Stun Spore. It's like it's just like weird. Like it doesn't repeat very often, and like it's just like fun for me to play. Like it's a lot of chord stuff, but then like the whole back end of the song, there's like a whole like 2 minutes of the song where like he doesn't even sing anymore, and it's just like instrumental. And we're just kind of just like he's like doing like these fucking bass lines that like kind of like are like counteracting what I'm playing, and to me it's just fucking fun. Like it's like I'm almost having a conversation with my boys without talking to them, you know.
Right.
And it's like it's weird, like, and I love
Print
that
that
shit.
shit.
Deep.
No, honestly, no, it's fucking sick. Like it's awesome, man. And it's like whenever I'm holding out a chord, he's going off. Whenever he's holding that down, like I'm like doing something different. Get to fuck with my pedals a lot in that song. Like it's just like, yeah, I really like that song. So you know, Miracle is probably our most popular song, and that's why it's fun because people are like, fuck yeah. But beyond that, I would say Stun Spore is probably my favorite.
So you play bass and sing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that natural for you now, or is it natural ever? Is it hard? Like, how does that?
It was easy in the beginning because it was like I was just playing what the riff was playing, because I play guitar, so I would play the guitar parts like when I make the song, and then I would show him, and then he would do the thing because he's better at the solos and all that stuff. And then so then I would play bass, and then it was literally like I don't even remember where or how, but he was basically like, I think it was like the first. Well, I mean, they've always been like when I show them songs or ideas or stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, that part's cool. Maybe not this part. Like maybe let's do something different. But this is the first time this fool basically like picked me up and was like, I need more, bro. I need more on this bass. I need more on this bass. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And then from there, then I was like, okay, I need to add a little more pizzazz. And then so, I don't know, from that moment, then I was like, all right, you want more, bro? Like, no, pause. But I would be like playing, I'd be playing like, I'd be playing more intense parts that are kind of hard to sing along with. So, I feel like now it's muscle memory, but it is a little difficult.
I still don't know how you do that Mary Code shit. That like
Because and like I said, like the when I would go to Mexico and stuff like that, like corridos and stuff, those fools are just like like singing like normal, and I'm like, I don't understand it. So that's kind of like the same principle I wanted to take.
What part of Mexico?
My parents are from Nayarit, Mexico.
Oh, shit.
It's under Sinaloa, west
Yeah.
of Jalisco. A lot of seafood.
Hell yeah, by the beach.
Right by the beach.
You guys from Mexico? Yeah, right. I assume.
Yeah, my parents, my dad's from Jalisco, Iztahuacán de los Membrillos, and then my mom's from Veracruz.
Hey, Veracruz. Nice.
My family's from Guadalajara.
Okay.
Yeah. The top of our
Boo
'cause we have a-
Chivas.
the top of our house, because we have a shop, and then our house is on top of it. And if you stand on top of the house, you could see the church in the centro from the roof. Like we're like 15 minutes away from the centro
nice.
in Guadalajara.
That's
Uh-huh.
cool.
You guys
We're
should
like
throw a
right-
show up there.
For real. Yeah.
Hit us
Some
up.
Beatles shit.
For real.
On the
We'll play
roof.
that house show for sure.
I know you guys mentioned you play with the Red Pears. What are other big bands you've played with, and or bands that have become big over time? And what are bands that you would love to play with?
To be honest, my favorite band we ever played with, and just because they kind of like pushed me to be better, and I don't think I ever told them like directly, but just like me, myself in my head, we played with Jurassic Shark a lot, and like they're not a band anymore, but like, dude, like I saw those dudes play, and I was like, these dudes are better than everybody. Like, I was like, and in my head, I was just like, we just got to be better, you know? So I was like, so that was like a big push for me. They were fucking awesome, man. Like, I hope they fucking come back somehow. I don't know what happened.
Is that why you scared me into playing the bass better?
Yeah, I was like, bro,
that
dude.
the moment?
I was like, do more. What are you doing?
No, actually, no, that makes sense. I remember we were at the show, we watched Jurassic Shark, and then you were like, hey, Porus, come over here. And then you just like, you see that?
Turned around and he was just angry.
But dude, they're just so fucking good, you know. And like in my head, I was like, fuck, like we need to be better. Like we need to be tighter. We need to fucking practice more. We need to like. And like I said, I never went up to them and was like, hey, guys, we fucking suck or anything. But, like, I don't know. It was inspiring to me to watch them, you know. And it was cool because, like, they were, like, our legit homies, you know. We would, like, play shows with them all the time. So it wasn't like we were playing with, like, this huge band that was, like, world famous or anything.
Right.
It was just dudes that, like, we knew and just so happened to be fucking killing it. And, like, to this day, I'll listen to Jurassic Shark songs and I'm just like, this shit still, to me, hits, like, so hard, man. Like, I fucking love their shit so much. And, like, so, like, I mean, favorite band that we played with, probably them. And then, I don't know, bands that we want to play with, honestly, like, shit, I don't know. That's probably hard. I guess sky's the limit, right? Fucking the Strokes, but.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's a little.
But they're opening for us.
Yeah. Want the Strokes to open for us. That's unreasonable, but.
Damn, I was hoping you would say Modded Out, but.
Yeah, Modded Out for sure, yeah.
I think for me too, like Jurassic Shark, like if you guys have, whoever's watching this, if you guys haven't check them out on Spotify, especially the song Spanish. Bro, when I fucking heard that shit, I was like, that shit was on repeat for like
So
2 days.
I'm gonna check them
like,
out after this.
Yeah, no, they're really sick, and they were getting big, but then like life happens and they broke up. But like, yeah, like Luis said, they were just like one of the few bands that like you saw and you're like they want, like, you wanted to get better, just not because you were like trying to be them, but just because like they were so sick live. Like they just made good jams, and like
They set the bar for sure.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just like, you know, there was a bar. And
yeah, I think they played Coachella at some point.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think they oh yeah, I think
they
they
for
did.
like the drums and shit.
Yeah, no, they were on their way, but yeah, shit happens. But yeah, their songs are still dope, so I suggest that. And then yeah, I fucking love Interpol. So
Yeah, I feel like Jurassic Shark was one of those bands because I feel like for me, growing up, playing music, playing shows, obviously I'm a little bit younger than them. Well, I mean, not. It's like 1 year, and then, you know. So then, I feel like I got too hung up on the whole like, I'm playing shows. This is fun, and like I'm just gonna drink and have a wild time. And for me, it was like the goal was like, oh, if people were just having fun and, you know, being crazy and stuff, but then I feel like bands like Jurassic Shark and then the Red Pears, like their work ethic and stuff like that, it was like more like, it was like, okay, if I'm having fun, then that's going to reflect on the, you know, onto the crowd, rather than me worrying. It was like, are you guys vibing with this, you know? And like, so, and then also another band that we played with once that's like bigger now, I think they're opening for Chicano Batman, is Innerwave. Those dudes are pretty crazy because I could see like Strokes influence also, but like a different
take
they went
on
like a
it,
different way with like more keys and stuff like that, and I always thought they were pretty sick too.
Yeah, Interwave's dope as fuck.
we didn't really get to play a lot with the Red Bulls because the Red Pears kind of like, when we started hanging out with them like a year later, we kind of like just like fell off. But it was really sick because we really felt like a sense of community with them, because like we're all Mexicanos, you know, and like it was really cool because they also like were Mexican as fuck, so it's just like really dope to like have another it was just cool as fuck to like have some homies, and then like our musical inspirations were really close, and then it was just like, yeah, we just became homies like really quickly. So like so it's really sick to see them like blow up. Yeah,
I remember the Red Pears were still playing local shows, and now it's like they're hitting big stages and shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
wild.
Didn't you hit him up one time? But
Yes, yes, I did. I sent him a message like 2018. Like a long message. You guys are sick. Can we play with you guys? Yeah, we never heard back, but that's for another. That's for another.
I think now they're like on labels.
Yeah,
and
no.
stuff like that,
By the
and,
time I
like,
hit them up, they definitely had a management
Yeah.
team, so I know that it's not even them really. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Just talking shit.
No, we were just talking about how like me and this guy, we saw Shaman Colt, in 2016.
Oh, dude, fuck those guys. No, I'm just kidding.
It was a big inspiration, like watching you guys play.
Dude, fuck yeah. That
And,
means
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
that.
It was like definitely flipped the switch. Like, oh shit, we got to be serious about this.
Yeah,
you know?
we were already playing music at the time, and we were like, oh shit! It was at the Dank, and was it Whittier? It was a warehouse.
Oh, whoa, dude.
You
that
guys
was
played
a
with
long
Beach
time
Bums,
ago.
yeah. I remember after the show, we were like, we're gonna play with these guys one day. Like, we were still barely starting. Like, man, we're gonna play with these guys one day. Like that's kind of like the equivalent to like what we're saying with Jurassic Shark,
Yeah.
Dude,
where
fuck
we
yeah,
were
man.
like,
That's cool, man.
these guys are fucking sick. And sure enough, a couple years later, we got to play a show with you guys. And
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Came
a lot of
homies and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
what's up, man.
That's sick. I'm sure you guys were somebody's first love too.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
Do you guys want to get to a point where you're managed and like part of a label and stuff like that?
I mean, like, I'm sure, like, we all have, like, different ideas of where we want to go. We're all in different, we all, although we're all homies, we're in, like, different kind of spots in our lives,
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, me personally, I would just like to have this be, like, a kind of, like, low, like, stress kind of situation where we're just kind of just, like, just making music with my boys,
Yeah.
And, like, not to be, like, cheesy, but that's kind of all that really matters to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit if we're just like, I don't know, like popular or not. Like, to me, it's just like, again, it might sound cheesy, but like, I just like hanging out with these fools, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they've been like my best friends since we were like kids. And like, to me, it's like, when we get together, like today we jammed this morning, like, so we don't get to jam very often. But like, today was dope as fuck because like, we jammed this morning and we just all got together and like, I don't know, we've been, drinking brews together since fucking
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it's just fun, man. So like, I don't know. I personally don't care about like, if it comes, right? And whatever happens. But like, I don't know. I'm personally not. I guess my goal is just to keep making music. Right now we're like working on like, we're almost like backtracking. We're like putting out shit that we already had.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I know this dude's got ideas for days, I
Right.
have ideas too. So like, I'm excited for like, once we're past that little like hump of like trying to like play catch up, I know like we'll have more stuff to come and like, and then we're in a different place now. So, I personally feel like I'm better at guitar. I'm better on my instrument. I know this dude's better too. And fucking, so I got to know together. And then we have fucking effort just to tie everything together. So I'm excited for the future, but yeah, personally, I don't really care. I don't have like this huge like idea in my head. I just want to have fun, just make music with the boys,
Right.
Yeah, for me, we obviously were making music, and then in 2018, I had my daughter, and then so from there, I was like obviously full force focused on that, and then so for me, it's been about learning how to balance like all those kind of like my family life, my work life. And then it's like, okay, once I feel like I got those balanced, then I can start trying to add, some stuff. And then so for me, this is a form of self-care. This is what gets me, things to look forward to, that kind of thing. But then also I want my kids to be able to like, because they're all super creative too. And I just want to be able to see like them to see like, oh, I put something out, like I made this music, we polish it up, we put it out. I don't care if it has whatever amount of listens or whatever, but I guess so they can see like a finished thing out there, a finished project. And then not to be super cheesy, But at the end of the Notorious movie with Big, when the mom's talking and she's like, "But I know if I can hear her on the radio one more time," and then it's like, "I'm going back to." So I mean, you know, in a way, I feel like you know, something happens to me or something, my kids can like hear my voice or some weird shit.
I like science, and so like I kind of, it's like weird, like the more you get into like a scientific career, the farther you get away from like other things, because like science is pretty intense, and so like but at one point,
You should tell them what you are getting your PhD
about
in.
to
What are you
say that,
studying
Because
right
then
now? What's
it's just like jumping into like that.
What do you do after?
yeah, so I'm getting my PhD in plant biology, but it's more like plant biochemistry. But basically, I'm trying to understand this process called non-photochemical quenching, and so basically, it's a way that photosynthetic organisms protect themselves from excess sunlight. Basically, long story short, we're trying to make photosynthesis better to try to make plants be able to grow better in harsher light conditions. Basically, by 2050, the rate at which food is being produced is going to be lower than the amount of people that are like on this planet. So we're going to eventually run out of food. So yeah, my lab is trying to find a way to solve that. But anywho, yeah.
Nice.
I realized that like, as cheesy as it sounds, I'm happiest, or I was happiest, like personally playing music. And so like, yeah, that's like when I started my PhD program, that's when I hit these fools up and I was like, hey man, like I really miss playing music. Like we only have one life, you know? Like, why the fuck aren't we trying to make this work? Even if it's like one show a year, fuck it. Like let's try to make something work. Yeah. So I don't know. I always tell them like, if we fucking get offered like a tour or something, like I'm gonna drop out of my program, like like I'm done. Yeah, but yeah, honestly, just like as sad as it is, you need like financial stability in life to have like decent, like, you know, life. So just if it could pay my phone bill,
for real,
I'm good.
For real.
For real.
Just phone bill and Netflix, and
That's the bare minimum. You know?
for real.
Hey, and honestly, like shout out to everybody who's like stuck like with us and like still listening to our stuff, because even though we're just like, we kind of don't care if like people listen to it or not, like we're kind of mostly doing it for us. Like it's been awesome to see like we put shit out and like people are still listening to it and people still care, and it's like that like truly means a fucking lot to us, you know.
Honestly, yeah, that's true. Shout out to everybody that like still fucks with us, because like
it's fucking awesome.
like I said, we like stopped everything like in 2016, but like randomly people would hit us up and be like, where you fools at, or like, hey, like this is the sickest song ever, or like on fucking SoundCloud, which we don't even have access to that account anymore because like it's lost in the sauce. But like I'll never forget this. Like a couple years ago, somebody posted on Gloom, they're like, this track slaps harder than my grandma's chancla. And like I was like, bro, this fucking yeah, like people are still listening to our shit, and like that's how I was like, bro, if like people are still like, I don't know, there's like people that still want to listen to our music, you know.
We were actually talking recently about how like we're trying to stop thinking about like, oh, what would people want to listen to when we make music, and we're like, well, if we like it, someone else in the world is gonna like it, you know, like if it's cool to us, like you said, like, you know, like you don't want to be like, you know, nervous about playing, like if people are gonna like it, like, you know, if you enjoy it, that's more than enough to, you know, keep the fuel in the fire.
I feel like, at least like when I was younger, it was like, if you're not big, you never made it. But I feel like there's levels to it. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like anybody who's pursuing some sort of like artistic dream, like props to them, you know, because like it's just it's hard, you know, and like it's a lot of like luck and who you know and just like stuff like that. But like there's a lot of sick bands that are making sick music that just don't get exposed. But yeah, I think as long as you do it for yourself, like,
and even just like completing a project is like extremely rewarding. You know, like just like going from like, I don't know, you're just fucking around in your house and like thinking of something, taking it to your people, and then they're just like, that's cool, and it goes from like nothing to something. Like it's extremely rewarding. It really is. Like, and fucking like it's always been super easy to do that with these dudes. So like that's another reason why I'm just like super happy to still be here.
There's a lot of talk in the Creative Act, the Rick Rubin book, about like how music really is like a piece of art, and it should only matter to the artist. You know, like all these art, like the painters from back then, they'd paint their shit, and they wouldn't really care, or even, you know, I would imagine they wouldn't even think about how people would receive their art. They would just do the art. And now it's like renowned, you know, like artwork that even to this day they're talking about. And yeah, I think just doing like the most to do what you feel is best for your, like, you know, within your own sound, your own band, your own ideas. That's really all that matters. And I definitely picked up on that from you guys, you know, like the songs you guys have out, like it's unique and it's your thing. And I don't know, I think people are going to pick up on that a lot more for sure. Like,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Yeah.
hell yeah.
You guys kick ass too. I really fuck you guys' shit.
Thank you.
You guys have grown a lot too. Like from the first time I seen you guys to the last time I saw you guys. I think the last time I was like at Coyote Studios.
Yeah, Coyote, yeah.
Last time I saw you guys, but no, you guys are dope as fuck. You've grown a lot, definitely from the first time I've seen you guys play. So
Oh, thank you.
good shit.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel like there's a lot, like a wide open lane, especially in the music field here local, where, you know, if we just get together and fucking go, I think there's a lot of potential, you know, like as much of an inspiration as Chicano was, it's sad to see them play their last few shows this year.
Dude,
And
that's insane when I saw that.
yeah,
Sucks.
I read that and I was like, fuck, man, like not Chicano.
Had to take a long shower after that.
Yeah.
You know, their OG drummer's wife was our French teacher.
No way.
For
real?
Gabriel? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
crazy.
Chicano's
actually,
breaking
the-
up?
The first time.
Indefinite hiatus is
Oh,
what they said.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the last shows.
Yeah. The first time we like played together, like legit, or like no, I guess we had played together before, but we were looking for like a practice spot, I guess, kind of. And my French teacher, she was like, "You guys could practice here after."
She was
school."
my French teacher too,
No,
bro.
she wasn't.
Yeah,
You
she
took
was.
Spanish.
Huh?
Didn't you take Spanish?
No.
Oh no,
That's-
mamas. Okay, never mind. That was me. All right, but anyways, fucking our French teacher. She was basically like, "You guys could practice here after school," and then we did, and he
That's
had a
cool.
bass. Susan, that's her name. And then yeah, we would show up, and then Gabriel actually showed up and played drums with
Oh,
us
wow,
and
that's
shit.
fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
it was dope. So that's how we like met them, and we got close to them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I still talk to them to this day. They're
I have a question.
lifelong friends.
You call your French teacher Susan?
Oh no, his bass is
Oh, the
Susan.
bass.
Oh,
the
Yeah.
bass
Susan.
guitar
Oh,
is
okay. I
Susan.
thought the French teacher.
No.
Yeah.
Straight up Susan. Yeah.
He has a bass named Susan.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that was our
Nice.
first like real instrument. in the group.
Kind of bass is it?
It's
It's
a Jack
a-
Cassidy signature Epiphone bass.
Yeah.
He doesn't know shit.
Basically,
Some your uncle?
Yeah, I think one of my uncles or something. I don't know. There's some lore, but it fell off a truck. That old story. It just fell on his lap, and he gave me the bass, and it's a beautiful bass.
Yeah, it's like a semi-hollow, like dope ass bass. It was like the first like real instrument like we had circling the group. Like it's still a dope ass bass. Never get rid of it.
That's just huge too. It's like taller than me. I
Yeah,
feel.
it's enormous. It's
Like
The
a stand-up
ca-
bass or
Like when I die, we could use the
No.
case as my
As a
casket.
copy, yeah.
Yeah, as my ca-
it's an electric bass, but like it's huge. Like it's just like I think they just started making them again. Actually, weirdly
Oh,
enough,
shit.
like they like reissued them. But yeah, he's had that shit forever, and it was like our bass that we used forever. So if you ever look at any of like the old pictures we have, and you see like a hollow body bass, it's Susan.
It's Susan.
Susan.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we were playing in our French rooms teachers class, I think it was like when we were first starting. So like since we basically forced Efren to play the drums, Gabriel Chicano Batman OG drummer, he brought his drum set, and we were playing like just like our ideas and stuff, and he was like jamming to it, and then. You know, our French teacher, Miss Moda, was like, "Oh, he's in a band. Like, here's some of it." I think he gave us some CDs, and it was just like super like burned off the CD-ROM, like with the
That's
image on it, all
crazy.
like blurry and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then we were listening to it. I was like, "Oh, damn, this is pretty crazy." And then out of nowhere, You know, and that was another kind of inspiration for me, like now, because I'm like, they were older, you know, they're older gentlemen when they were jamming and stuff. So like, I was like, I guess I can't be like, oh ya estás viejo, because like, you know, dudes are still doing it. Doesn't matter the age or nothing.
Also, the Black Keys, like they
What about
they blew up when they were like in their late 30s and stuff. We're not
Oh,
in our
yeah?
late 30s, but they give us hope. You know,
Early.
like we have been told then. Yeah, but actually, fun story about Chicano Batman. When I was in Japan last summer. I just went into this random record shop, and they had like 3 T-shirts, and one of them was a Chicano Batman T-shirt.
Oh,
and I
shit.
was like, "What the fuck?"
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How's that even work? Do they like?
They did a tour in Japan once.
Oh, they did
yeah.
it. Oh,
They
okay.
did a tour, yeah.
You know, like I
okay.
think there's a Japanese culture that likes Chicano stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
there's
yeah.
these fools in Nagoya, Japan, that dress like cholos.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, that's just a little funny though.
It's like the trade-off. Like we got anime, so then
True.
they could get
They
the
got cholos.
cholos.
Law of equivalent exchange.
We have a segment called Put Me On. Either a food joint that you guys like that's local, or like a store that you guys would recommend people go to.
So I'll shout out some Azusa, but whenever there's no food at home, we always go to El Picoso. So just go to El Picoso. It's on Azusa Avenue, right next to the In-N-Out. Ignore the In-N-Out. Cross the street and go eat some tacos.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's a
It's a Mexican spot.
yeah. It's just tacos and shit, you know. But that's the spot. It's down the
Yeah,
street from
yeah.
my house. So yeah, if you ever hungry for some good tacos, go hit up El Picoso. Yeah.
Cool.
I like me a mean barbecue, so I'd recommend Canyon City Barbecue. It's right there in Azusa as well. But there was this so I moved to Rialto, so it's right by San Bernardino. There was this place called Tacolandia, and it's just like vendors and like a bunch of cool stuff, and we were super excited to find something. But then I don't know, there was like some legal stuff with, I think some people didn't have their permits to be vendors or whatever, so they like reconfigured, and now they're in Pomona. So now it's in Pomona, so it's further away from me, but it's closer to
this
you
way, yeah.
guys. But yeah, Tacolandia, it's a new little, I guess, a bunch of vendors and stuff.
That sounds
Nearby.
cool. Sounds cool.
Yeah, there's a cool record store called Chaos Records. It's in Covina.
Chaos Records.
Yeah, they sell pretty cool like band merch.
Mm.
Yeah, so go check them out.
Nice,
Yeah, they're like a
nice.
little family-run business, but yeah, I feel like we don't really see like record stores like that still like kicking.
Yeah, those are always the
Yeah.
best. Like
Yeah.
they actually care about like.
Yeah, and
what
like
they
their merch
have.
is pretty pretty sick because they have like a lot of band shirts from like a pretty good variety. But like
Mm.
yeah, it's not like the shit you find at like Hot Topic and stuff like that.
What's a work of art that has inspired you to create a piece or something like a creative work of art, whether it's like an actual artistic piece or a music piece that you kind of drew inspiration from?
I think I personally don't get inspiration from like super specific things. For me, it's more like experiences, and like I like to travel. So like whenever I go somewhere different, like just being in like a different environment, like the little bit of culture shock, kind of puts you in a different mood,
Mm.
puts you in a different mindset. And I feel like that's what kind of triggers me personally to like be more creative and stuff like that. Nothing like super specific. It's like not like I saw this painting, I'm just like, oh wow, it's time, you know. And it's like that's never happened to me. But like just like me and my wife like to travel a lot. Like we went to Peru, like we went to France, and like, you know, we've done a few things. So like Mexico, going to Mexico City to see my family is always fucking awesome, you know. Like that's always very like, you know, it helps me a lot to just get out of the box that I'm in. But yeah, just like different experiences, you know, and seeing new things and a little bit of culture shock. It's kind of what gets me out of my zone. And like, I don't know, I can't really like tie one experience to like this one particular riff that I wrote, but it's just like it kind of all like ties in together, you know, like gets you out of like the box. So like somebody, I don't know, I guess writer's block, I guess, if you feel like you have nothing, like putting yourself out there and seeing some different shit. Like I feel like that's what helps me personally.
For me, I think because I was more of a hip hop head growing up, I guess, like in my younger years, so I was super into like the art of sampling. So then just hearing how someone could take like 3 seconds of someone else's song and make it an entire new thing. So, like I had mentioned earlier, like the Gloom one, that's like some weird, like, I don't know, you guys are gonna have to find like the clip of it or something and add it into it later, but it's super, just like the way that the way those bass notes aren't like, you know, he's playing like a certain chord, but the bass note's like the weird like inverted third or something. But and then for me, I feel like for me sometimes the lyrics, my lyrics are kind of random sometimes, but sometimes I try to think of the point of view of like something I watch in a movie or a show or something. Because sometimes my wife is like, damn, like, when did I do you dirty like this? I'm like, it's not you. It's just you know, something I saw on TV or something, you know, or yeah, I would say, like, for me, I listen to a lot of stuff. Sometimes at work, I just have like 1960s Central American vibes playlist going, and then I'll hear a drum pattern, and then I'm like thinking of it in my head, and then I think of a riff that goes with it, and then that's how I usually build on a song. Like one of our songs is the Kingdom Hearts 2 intro song. The drum pattern, I specifically was like, this is a dope drum pattern, and then I took that drum pattern and then added my own riff onto it, and that's one of our songs that are still...
That's my favorite riff you've ever written, by the way.
Yeah, it's one of our songs that are like in the works, kind of, yeah. But so yeah, for me, it's like kind of sampling without directly going on YouTube and downloading it and like just taking it, yeah.
By the way, listen to Gravedad, the Grave Dad. This fool makes his own music aside from us. It's all like sample-based shit, so...
Thank you.
Shout out to the fucking
You took
Grave Dad.
you took
over
the
here.
glazing seriously. Yeah, it's my own little solo proj that I just,
Yeah.
you know,
Nice, yeah.
On Spotify as well.
Spotify, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely
It's
get
like
that.
grave dad, grave hyphen dad, or
okay.
or gravedad if you're reading it in
Yeah.
in Spanish. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
There is a hyphen though.
there is
Okay.
definitely a hyphen. Yeah.
Grave Dad, no hyphen was taken.
Yeah, that was a whole like text the chat thing we had going on. He's just like, what do I do?
Do I do a hyphen or no hyphen?
Grave
with the
Dad
hyphen.
001.
I don't know, man. Like, being a human is like pretty complex. Like, being able to experience life is just like, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint inspiration to just one thing, because like, yeah, like Jose, music for sure is a big part. Like, not one particular thing, but sometimes you'll just hear like one lyric and like I'll just fixate on that, and it'll be like stupid inspirational. Like there's like this rap song, and like one of the lyrics is like, you only have like one life, so like don't waste it or some shit like that. And it's just like, that was pretty like impactful. And then like there's this anime called Samurai Champloo. You
Banger.
guys fuck with that? Yeah. And like the fucking music to that is made by like Nujabes.
Yeah.
And like that
yeah.
fool, like, yeah, like a lot of his shit is like really inspirational. And then just like art pieces that I've like gotten, like this tattoo right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like an art piece I fucking saw. And like, it's just like when I was young, I like didn't really, I don't know, I didn't really have any direction or anything. But then like as I got older, I like started realizing how like you don't really have a lot of time as a human, you know, like, yeah, you might live a couple years, but like really in hindsight, like you only have really like maybe 1/3 of your life to really like experience life to the fullest. So like, yeah, I think that's what kind of motivates me, like knowing that like I don't have a lot of time on this earth, and it's just like right now that I can, like I'm trying to like max.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're like all just products of our environment.
For sure.
Yeah, like being around everything like shapes who you are, definitely, and you know that shapes the music itself.
Yeah, we're also all just like super nerds, so like we all kind of like bonded on that too, and I'm sure that like plays into some of the inspiration too. Like half the time when we're like just chilling, like we'll just start talking about Pokemon for no reason, you know, like that's like half the talk, or like, you know, I don't know, like
You guys still on Pokemon Go?
you know, I stopped. He's still on Pokemon.
Yeah.
Go, but I stopped.
This is where you stop glazing me.
I got a couple friends that are still like pretty they get the dailies, you know.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the meme with that like Jeffrey Dahmer when he's like holding the knife but making them watch something on the TV? That's like me with my kids, but like nerdy stuff like Pokemon. I'm like, pay attention to this right now.
Do you like make them like enjoy the things you enjoyed as a kid? Like play this Game Boy right now. Like,
I try, but you know, I definitely like if I show them and they're not digging it, then whatevs, I move on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're too young, or you know.
yeah.
I'll just tell her like, you know, you just
They're
don't
just
understand
whack.
it right now, you know. But whatever they're into, then I go full forced on, you know.
Yeah.
So I want to give you guys the opportunity to kind of, you know, share that take or share that. You know, I feel like if there's something you wanted to share. Or
I'm laughing because like we literally showed up today. We're like, what the fuck are we gonna say? So we 100% did not plan any of that. But I don't know if you guys have something to say.
I mean, I personally think I already said it earlier, and just to, you know, circle back on it, just thanks, you know, to anyone that's kept up with us, you know, like, truly means a lot, you know. So like I said, like at the end of the day, like I'm just happy to be here with these dudes. They've been like my best friends growing up. But I mean, for anyone who's stuck around, like, dude, shit's fucking awesome. And like, I guess, I mean, that's all I really have to say. Like, thank you, thanks 1,000, and you know.
For me, you know, I'm almost 30, so you know, I've lived quite some time, you know.
It's his birthday on Monday.
Oh shit!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. But no, I'm a dad, and I'm also a social worker. I work with 18 through 21 year olds in LA County. So if any of you guys are watching this, what's up? I'm not gonna breach you guys' confidentiality or anything, but so basically all day at work I'm just listening to a bunch of, you know, young adults that are trying to find their place and try to find balance in their lives, and then I get off the clock supposedly, but then I go home and do the exact same thing. I'm just you know, listening to my kids and stuff, and then I feel like even though they look at me like I'm the one supposed to teach them something, they've taught me that like it's about just being able to balance everything in your life, like your job, your school, and then your self-care. That's super important. So yeah, I mean at work it's like the kids are I call them kids, but they're full grown adults, but they're you know, some of them are like working on, they have like a YouTube channel. They've gathered like more than 1 million views on their YouTube channel, and they're super humble. They're like, oh yeah, no, it's like no, and I'm like, no, dude, you're really good at this. And then he's working on like a show, and he's like the curator. He knows, you know, which. He's like, oh yeah, I contacted some composers and this is what they sent me. And I'm like expecting like, okay, don't know what to expect. And he shows me, I was like, that was insane. Like, how did you guys come up with that? And then, you know, but then I feel like, you know, they're also young adults who have had trauma and stuff like that. So now their expectation in life, it's like, okay, you grew up, you had all this trauma. Now you're a young adult, so go for it. And like they're trying to balance school and work, and I just don't want them to lose that, like they're allowed to have that outlet, you know.
Right.
It's not like just because you had all this stuff going on back in the day, now you just have to be a little robot doing the old routine. And so yeah, I think for me it's just that balance piece of like doing what you love, and then everything's just gonna come together after.
Follow us on Instagram. I think we have a Twitter. But yeah, mostly
think so.
Instagram. Yeah. Okay.
We have a
That's
TikTok
it.
that has nothing on it.
Yeah, but
Same
just
though. Same.
follow us on social media. Check out the new music, the new merch, and yeah, just like enjoy life, be happy, don't fear failure. Yeah, just enjoy life.
For real.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, of course. It was a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sí, está muy difícil la cosa de comer un perro porque tienes que esperar que te dan la comida y luego a veces no tienes eso.
That's a pretty good impression.